Aldo says, hi, Satoshi started his node or the blockchain centrally on his computer, I assume in January 2009. When did this network become decentralized? Well, for anything to start, it has to start with one person, one idea. It's not like 30 people all had the same thought at the same time and they started doing the same thing and they met at the same place. It has to start somewhere. So there was a lot of emails and exchanges back and forth between Satoshi, whoever that was, or a group of people, and other people building Bitcoin and trying to figure things out. And then they started mining it, and then the rest is history. I think that the first coins that Satoshi mined, somebody said that they were abandoned. He abandoned them in the comments yesterday. So everything has to start centralized. But when did it become decentralized? As soon as more than one person was mining it, I guess. I don't know. The beauty of the Bitcoin blockchain is that every 10 minutes, when all the new transactions are picked up, when the fees are high enough for those transactions to be picked up, the new ledger is updated. A new copy of the ledger is updated. And when it's updated, it gets sent to every single person on Earth who's running a Bitcoin node. So if you want to go back and change the transaction, if there was an error or you think you got ripped off by somebody, you'd have to go to every single person on Earth, every country, everybody's computer, everybody's node, and make that change in there. So that's why it's considered to be immutable and decentralized. Immutable in the fact that you'd have to go convince every person to change that transaction on their copy of the blockchain. That's all it is. Just think of the Bitcoin blockchain as just a giant ledger transactions. Every transaction is just a bunch of data, and every transaction gets added to that ledger, and then it gets broadcast out to everybody running a node. Sorry, I'm just looking through a few comments here on the Zap stream. And that's the other difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin as well. I think it's important to highlight this stuff. But with Ethereum, it's proof of stake. So the more Ethereum you hold, the more influence you have on the network. And that's not the case with Bitcoin. You could have 30% of the coins, but you have no impact on what the blockchain does. You don't have 30% of the votes. Every single person on Earth who's running a node, regardless if you have 5 Satoshis or 500 Bitcoin or 5 million Bitcoin, it doesn't matter. Every single person running a node has a vote in what blockchain, what code they want to use. And for how many years now? 15 years now, everybody has decided that the one we're using is the one that they want to use. So there's a difference there, because in a world where Ethereum, the proof of stake, where the people who have the most Ethereum, they get to say what happens with the blockchain and the code, and they've changed it several times now. But that's just very fiat world. That's exactly how we have it now. Whoever has the most money, they control what happens. They get the majority of the influence there. Whereas with Bitcoin, that's not the case. So people worry about BlackRock and MicroStrategy owning a couple percent of Bitcoin, but it really doesn't matter. They don't have any influence on changing the network. Bitcoin Boomer says, great show as always. Education is the single greatest key to Bitcoin mass adoption. And you're definitely doing